Alright, today we've got a pretty cool treat. I've been rebluing all the metal with this Spanish Mauser. Actually, I have a pair of them, but for now we're just starting off with this one. But Chad here is going to try to show us how he refinishes the wood and all the stuff you're going to need, so we're going to move on to that.
Alrighty, let's go through what you're going to need to start refinishing a stock. Alright, first you're going to need a big mortar tub. This is to hold your water, and you're going to need a cat to go along with it. This is going to hold your hot water and make it a lot easier for you to get your stock nice and clean, get all the oil off of it, and get the stain off of it. You're going to need some gloves because it's going to get a little bit messy doing this, especially if you're going to be working with some stripper. There's two methods of getting all the oil off of it. One that I use is method with crud cutter, baking soda, and some cheesecloth. And then another one is with just regular stripper. You're going to need some kind of a stiff bristled brush to get in all the little pores and cracks and crevices. You're going to need iron. That's to steam out any kind of dents that might be present. The ones that you can steam out are just breaking the surface. If it's actually cracked or split or cut, you're not going to be able to steam it out because the fibers can't come to the surface. You're going to need a couple of terry cloths. And you're going to need a stock to refinish. That might be the number one thing. A propane burner helps a lot to heat some boiling water. And then you need some propane to fuel it. Alright, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour my hot boiling water inside my mortar tub here. Okay. And then what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to take your stock. And I just like this tub because it can kind of sit right on top here. Take yourself a terry cloth, get you some water on it, just wet your stock down. That's just going to allow some of that heat to get in there. Ooh, I need some thicker gloves too because this stuff's hot. Okay, now what I do, see how it's already starting to, some of that oil and crap starting to come off of it? What I do is I like using the crud cutter. Spray it down with some crud cutter. This is it's like a non-chemical type cleaner. It's water-based, so you can already see it's turning brown. Some of that crud's coming off of there. Crud cutter. But anyways, take your handy-dandy brush here and just kind of start going over it a little bit. This is going to get like the outside layer off. Dip it back in some hot water. Once you get down a little ways into the stock, into the old finish, I'll show you what you can do to start drawing a lot more of this color and oil and whatnot out of it. Kind of a tedious process, but it takes some time for good results.
Oh, it's looking a lot better already. You hadn't even really got it clean yet.
Nope. But we're going to get down to the bare wood.
Okay. Now, the question that I guess that I would have is that could you, in theory, just clean a stock like this and leave the existing finish?
You could. This will get a lot of the oil and crap that's built up over the years.
What about something like cosmoline? Like if you had a gun caked in cosmoline, this would help?
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Awesome.
This stuff, I love this stuff. I mean, it's kind of like something that most people don't know about. Crud cutter. A lot of people want to use strippers and stuff, but I think the stripper, kind of affects the wood in a negative way.
Yeah.
All right, what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna soak this down with some crud cutter. This is a little method to draw a little bit more of this crap out. Just lay some cheesecloth on the stock. I'll probably have to do it in two sections. Lay some cheesecloth down on it right there. Kind of get it kind of snugged on it. Spray it down with some more crud cutter. Kind of soak it down in there.
Running low?
No, just holding it at this angle. Okay, now get yourself a little bit of hot water. Now just kind of put a little bit of that on there. That kind of adheres the cheesecloth down to the wood real nice.
Does the cheesecloth get tacky when it's wet?
No.
No. Okay.
And then you take some baking soda. There's some baking soda on there. Just kind of however, you know. I mean, you could use like a little pepper shaker or something like that to put it on here if you want to, but I just clump it on there. Doesn't really matter, it's cheap. Just kind of rub it on in there like that. Good old thick layer of it. And just let it sit so you can already see a lot of this oil and crap soaking up out of it. It'll change a little bit more before it's done. See how it's drawing a little bit more of this crap out? Just the oil. A little bit of brown tint to it, you know. You can tell it's drawing out. It's kind of a tedious process, but it'll leave the wood more of like a natural condition. Do it up in the front here too. So what you want to do is probably just repeat this process a few times. That way it'll get a lot of that crap out of the stock, and it draws some of the stain out. You know, that's what you're going for, is get some of that old stain out. Then you sand it back down, and then you start refinishing it and whatnot. But you know, if you got any dents in there, you're going to want to steam them out. We'll go over that in just a little bit, show you what you can and what you cannot do.